Hey there, Sergio from Viva Las Value. Today, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of the Barstool free hoodie promos that have been running. So if you're looking for some Barstool gear, it can be had pretty cheaply through betting, through the different promotions. So today, I'm going to walk you through how to make a bet for the Barstool gear with as little risk as possible using OddsJam to find the best odds by line shopping. So let's dive in. All right, so when you log into Barstool, you got the home page and promotions are top right. So as you can see on the promos, each one is going to have different rules. So we're going to focus specifically on the Thursday night one. You can see right here, it's a Carhartt sweater, which are typically pretty expensive online. So there's some good value to be had here. I personally am not a fan of either team, so I'll probably sell it on eBay. I've seen that they've been going for anywhere from $60 to $120 were the last sales I saw. So if you want it yourself or want to gift it to a friend, great value there. It's a pretty quality hoodie. Or if you're wanting to just further your profit, great way to do that as well. So that's what I'll be doing here. Let's look at what is required. So you can see an example there. You got the Carhartt branded there with the patch. So we got to look at the rules because each one is going to be different. Of course, you've got the states you need to be in, but more specifically, you got to opt in first. That's going to be key. You want to make sure you opt in before making that bet. And it's going to be a $100 mainline spread. So not a money line. We got to bet the spread on the game. So what that mainline means is that you can't tease it. You can't buy any points or take an alternate spread. You got to take whatever they're offering on that mainline, which I'll show you what that looks like. And you need the win. So let's opt in and see what we're working with here. So we've got the Buccaneers-Eagles game pulled up, and this point spread, the main one, that's the main line. So we've got Tampa Bay -7, Philadelphia +7, and we've got -106, -115. So now we're going to switch over to OddsJam, and we're going to compare those odds to kind of see where they stack up. So looking at the main line, came right down to +7, -7. So we can see here, consensus is about 115, 120 on the Eagles, spread at 7, and we've got the Bucks at +100 is the best you can get, about 105. We've got the pinnacle odds right here, so we can see that Bucks one is going to be slightly favored at -107. So getting that at -106 on Barstool is a pretty decent bet. -103 for the Eagles +7. That's that one's not looking as good when we're comparing that to -115. Personally, I think the Bucks are going to win too. Of course, when you're betting the odds, you're kind of going based on the numbers and not hunches. But I'm really liking the Bucks -7. So we'll take that. We're opted in. We've got to do that $100 mainline spread. So that bet wins. I've got $195 and a hoodie my way. Now that we've bet the Bucks -7 on Barstool, we've got to hedge that. So we'll take the opposite side, the Eagles +7. And we can look here. We've got 115 at most books. That's as low as we're going to get since I don't have access to Pinnacle here in Colorado, sadly. So we'll just go with MGM since I've got a good bankroll there. So now we've got the MGM side pulled up. And like OddsJam said, we've got the Eagles +7 at -115 here. So that would be the opposite side of our Barstool bet. Before we put that down, I'm just going to look down on their spread section to see what we might be looking at for if we wanted to buy a point and potentially go for a middle. So looking at the spreads here, got the Eagles on the right side. We've got the +7, which is the direct hedge against Barstool at -115. It would cost us a decent amount to buy that extra half point or tease out anything more. So I'm not really feeling good about that. I'm just going to go for minimizing the juice and having the best chance of getting the hoodie. So we'll go ahead and go with the +7. Of course, we do have the potential for the push, but since the main line on Barstool is a 7, there's no sense in trying to avoid the push. So what I'm going to do here now when I'm hedging this is I'm going to factor in that value of the hoodie over on the Barstool side if that bet wins. So I don't mind losing a little bit extra over here because I'd be able to regain that money by selling the hoodie if the Bucks cover. But if the Eagles cover, I want to make out with some money. I don't want to not get a hoodie and lose money. Here is my thinking. We have to do the $100 on the Barstool side. So we've entered the 100 and we're going to get a $195 payout if Barstool covers. So assuming that, it's just a matter of how much we are valuing that hoodie at. Carhartts typically go for about $50, and I've seen these sell for upwards of $60 on eBay. So we flip over to the MGM hedge side. I'm going to go with $135. That way, where if I lose, I've got a guaranteed $17 return right there. And if the Buccaneers cover, that hoodie is going to cost me $40. And a $40 cost there. Anything additional over that 40, of course, is going to be money in my pocket when I sell it. So I am comfortable with that kind of compromise there. Depending on how much you value that hoodie, you could go with something different yourself, but I'm totally comfortable with that. So I'm going to place these two bets, and that's what we'll be looking at. All right, so after giving that walkthrough, I decided to just double check OddsJam to make sure that those mainline spreads hadn't changed. And of course they did. So I debated, kind of editing that out conveniently, but I wanted to show you in real time how the lines change. So let's go back to this point spread and scroll down to our main lines here. And as you can see, we've now got one at -110 over on Betfred. And that is fairly common that you're going to see that those lines change, because remember, their markets, as different money comes in, different sportsbook providers are going to change their payouts. So we've got that -110 now, which gets a little bit of juice away. So I want to demonstrate what that looks like in terms of real return to us. So we'll go back to MGM, what we were looking at. We've got that $135 wager for $252 payout. Now, if we jump over to Betfred, which has that -110, we are looking at a return of $257. So that's an additional $5 on the same wager amount. As you see there, that illustrates the importance of line shopping right there, because that same wager is going to give us $5 more on Betfred. And OddsJam is bar none the best way to do that line shopping, because as you can see here, it's going to take forever to sit there and check all of these different sports books. By the time that you're done, you're probably looking at the lines having shifted, because in the time it took us to record that video, we saw this Betfred -110 for the Eagles come out of nowhere. So, it's happening constantly, and OddsJam is always going to refresh it for you. So OddsJam will give you a snapshot of the best odds at that moment in time. That was just one of many examples of how OddsJam is such a powerful, simple, and effective tool to maximizing your return on sports betting. So that's, of course, for this Thursday night promo, but that is going to be the same strategy that you can use for any Barstool merchandise promos in order to find the best line to take on Barstool, as well as the best hedge line elsewhere. So to recap what we accomplished today with the help of OddsJam, we've got wagers placed at Barstool and Betfred. And if the Eagles cover, we win $22 thanks to those great sharp odds that we found on OddsJam. And if the Buccaneers cover, we lose $40 on our wagers, but we gain a Carhartt hoodie, which is worth $50 retail. And I've seen them going for easily upwards of $60 on eBay. So we would be able to recoup $20+ on the $40 loss. And we would be looking at a guaranteed $22+ profit either way. So thank you for watching. Keep using OddsJam. Best of luck and win lots of money.